Havertz leaves it, Ødegaard's there, through a goal, Havertz! Saka, and there's Rice!
We are in it for the long haul. It is now very clear to everyone who enjoys the Premier League that we are in for an exciting title race for the rest of the season. Only 2 points separates the top 3 clubs, with Liverpool leading the way with 63 points. Man City are second on 62 points, with Arsenal a further point behind in third place. March is a critical month for the title race, with Man City playing both Liverpool and Arsenal. The title will not be won this month, but the results from these 2 games will have a huge impact on the title race. Arsenal have hit form with 7 wins in a row since the turn of the new year, scoring 33 goals and conceding only 3. It is this type of form that Man City usually hit around this time of the year. We are in the race, yes, but we cannot avoid the fact that if we want to win the league, we have to go to the Etihad and get a result. Despite not being at their fluent best, Manchester City are still favourites for the title. Liverpool are a different case, however, in a sense that they are on top of the league right now but have an injury crisis to vital squad members. The squad depletion makes it difficult for them to sustain their winning run. But do not count them out, because they have more experience when it comes to a title race against Man City. What Arsenal have shown in recent times is that they are more steely and harder to beat. They tend to dominate the possession and limit the chances created for their opponents. They have also hit a new gear in front of goal after struggling to finish off their chances during the Christmas period. They have come back from the break in a ruthless mood. Performances like these put everyone in the league on notice that Arsenal are here to stay. We may have some fresh injury concerns. The only blemish from our dominant performance against Sheffield United were the injuries to Martinelli and Saka. Saka was substituted at half-time, citing a slight knock. The star boy was once again the star man for Arsenal in the first half. He gave Austin Trusty a torrid time at left-back. As early as the first minute, he had already created a chance for Arsenal, hitting the crossbar from close range. For the rest of the half, he was beating his men with ease and creating more chances for his teammates. It was a bit of a surprise when he didn't come out for the second half, but it has since been revealed that he was nursing a slight niggle. His partner in crime in the opposite wing also went down with a knock after a rather innocuous challenge on the edge of the Sheffield United box. He tried to continue to play, but ultimately he went down and couldn't continue. It was a worrying sight when he was helped off the pitch by the doctors. After the game though, Mikel revealed that it was just a slight knock and will hopefully be fine for the Brentford game. In my opinion, I wouldn't risk Martinelli for the game at the weekend. With Trossard, Nelson and Smith-Rowe all being available for selection, Martinelli can be given a rest with the second leg of the Champions League tie against Porto on the horizon. Our wingers are very important to the way we attack. They impact the game in different ways, but ultimately their styles complement one another. It is vital that we keep both of them fit and rested for the rest of the campaign if we are to continue challenging. Kai Havertz makes our front line tick. On the 28th of June 2023, the world witnessed one of the most epic meltdowns in football. When Kai Havertz joined Arsenal from London rivals Chelsea, every Arsenal fan had an opinion on the matter. Not so much about his ability per se, but the price tag of £65 million had everyone losing their minds. As early as his first day at London Colnley, he was already under immense pressure to produce immediately. Whether it was his underwhelming stint at Chelsea, his massive price tag, or the mere fact that he played for Chelsea, for some reason a large portion of our fan base were not willing to give him time to adapt. When he came in, a lot of us thought he was the Granit Xhaka replacement, when in actual fact Arteta had created a completely new role in the midfield that is tailor-made for the German. Fast forward to now, and it is blatantly obvious how vital Kai Havertz is to our attack. The runs he makes into the channels create so much space for Martinelli and Saka to run into the box. His physical presence makes him a nuisance for centre-backs, whether it is in aerial or ground duels. His pressing in the opponent's defensive third makes defenders to rush their passing out from the back, thereby making them more prone to mistakes. He also chips in with goals and assists of his own when chances present themselves. The game against Sheffield United was a great example to any keen observer as to what Kai brings to our attack, whether playing in the midfield or as a number 9. He's a great example of how to be a team player. He may not always grab the headlines when he does well, but he's an invaluable member of Arsenal Football Club. Martin Ødegaard has evolved. For most of his career at Arsenal, Martin Ødegaard has been looked upon as the creative spark, someone who will create chances for others, someone who is a luxury player who may dominate a game against a bottom league side in the Emirates, but flatter to deceive away at a top 6 side, always living in the shadow of Mesut Ozil. But he has shown once again this season that he can be able to rise to another level as his team requires. When he first arrived, he was accused of not scoring enough goals. Last season he responded to his critics with a 15-goal tally of non-penalty goals. This season he has again transformed his game into more of an orchestrator-type midfielder. He does not only play in the final third, he drops deeper almost in front of the centre-backs. This makes him very hard to track for opposing defensive midfielders. In these deeper spaces, that's where he dictates tempo of the game, creates chances and builds up play. One of his most obvious qualities is his leading from the front style of captaincy. He leads the press, he puts in challenges, and he is one we look to when we need some inspiration. The most frightening statistics that he possesses is that he's only 25 years old. He hasn't even reached his prime years yet. In the game against Sheffield United, he stamped his authority early when he opened the scoring through his trademark edge-of-the-box finish. From that moment on, Sheffield were chasing shadows for most of the game. It is exciting to watch him grow up and to reach new levels again in the future. Captain Fantastic. Timely returns. The game against Sheffield United saw the return to fitness of Thomas Partey, Gabriel Jesus and Fabio Vieira. Thomas Partey has been out injured since October, which has meant that Declan Rice has had to play almost every game for us. Whether this is in the league or the Champions League, the return of Thomas Partey means that the defensive midfield duties can be shared around. In his absence though, Jorginho has stepped up and provided some solid performances with regularity. As good as Jorginho has been, Thomas Partey is a level above and can hold his own against any midfielder in the Premier League. So his return will be massively welcomed by every Arsenal fan. Jesus also had an exciting cameo off the bench. He looks at his sharpest and will not need too much time to get back up to speed. Jesus has been a special player for us. He has the ability to create chances from nothing and he makes defenders nervous and rash. He may not score as many goals as we would like him to, but he contributes so much in creating for others around him. In his absence, we have seen Trossard and Havertz share the striker duties between them, and they've scored some important goals for us in the process. Gabi is our first choice centre forward, but he will have to work hard to get back into the starting berth of this team. Fabio Vieira also returned from his long-term injury after being out since the early parts of the season. I was gutted for him when he got injured because he was in decent form and contributing to the team. He was starting games for us and was looking more like the player we hoped he would be when we signed him from Porto. Let's hope he keeps fit and helps us get over the line in the Premier League.